Mira Business FM, Dubai's home of business radio.
This is the Morning Drive. It's Mira Business FM with me, Tim Elliott. It's time to talk gold now. Joining us on the line from the cold wilds just north of London is Jeff Rhodes, the CEO of Goldstrom Advisory. Jeff, very nice to see you.
Good morning, Tim.
Nice
Cold here, it is.
I've heard, unfortunately. So we've been talking cakes this morning, so I've got to go from the business of bespoke cakes to the business of gold. So forgive me if I bring flour and sugar into this. It's just an accident. It's one of those things. Jeff, nice to see you. Since we last spoke, gold has been, I was going to say creeping northwards, but it's up a good bit, actually. Over the past month, nearly 7%. It's a good bit over, 60% compared to this time last year. I just checked this morning, about 4,390, up from around 4,200 a week, 10 days, 2 weeks or so ago. So we're seeing some, not a rebound, but things are on the up.
Yeah, we actually, so a fresh all-time high, Tim. It got to 4,409. So it rang the 4,400 bell that it'd been threatening to do for a while.
Right.
Yeah, it did that, but it really took a backseat to what's going on in silver and platinum. Both of them just, record, certainly silver, record after record after record. And seems to be no end in sight, really. Technically, both of them are extremely overbought, so vulnerable to a technical correction. But Tim, it's Christmas. It's Christmas, Boxing Day. Markets globally are closed on Thursday and Friday. The trading volume is as thin as you could get, and so just a small trade would have a bigger impact.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, the thing is, the trend is upwards, isn't it? Expectations of maybe more monetary easing, the labour market cooling, little bit of retail demand, I suppose, for end of the year. But the trend seems to be on target. I'm not going to ask you for your prediction, Jeff. We've got that on record, but it's certainly...
It's on the way, Tim.
I think so.
It's really on the way. Yeah, don't forget 125 for silver. Yep. We're kind of pretty much at 70 already. But it's difficult to imagine when this time last year silver was around 28, 29. But we could see the rally coming, and I don't see any end in sight. I think this week it could go anywhere, honestly. Gold and silver, platinum, palladium. Just as I say, a small size trade that would normally just not make any difference can have a significant effect. So yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, I just feel that it's time to step away and kind of enjoy Christmas, because you could easily get yourself wrapped up in positions that you don't want to have. So I think it's good to look at what's going on, but in terms of trading activity, just, stand to one side, enjoy your turkey and Christmas pudding.
I mean, you make a good point, though, because if you assume that what we're seeing politically, what we're seeing economically, that's likely to continue. So, the uncertainty from the current US administration, if that remains as is, and that's very likely, it's not as though gold's not going to represent an opportunity in the next year, is it?
Absolutely. I do think we could see gold at 4,500 actually, but before the end of the year. But for me, it's a little bit of a one-way bet. You have to be careful about what levels you come in. But I think, to remind people, last week I called for 6,500.
You did.
And I remain convinced, because the key, you mentioned it, is monetary policy in the US and therefore the rest of the world. We've had an interest rate cut in the UK, so I think interest rates are heading south. And with that, you'll see certainly industrial demand kicking in. The last time, just a question for you: when was the last time platinum was $2,100, and it was before a big event, a major event that affected the world, when it was platinum was $2,100.
Okay.
When do you think that was, Tim?
Oh, 2020, around about March, April
No,
time. No.
no. August 2008.
Oh,
That was,
okay.
if you think back, the world was going, we were sort of lower interest rates. We're in this kind of similar situation. The expectation was lower interest rates, economies were booming,
Yeah.
and then suddenly, bang, global financial crisis hit, and major financial companies went bust. So just a word of warning about what is platinum telling us. It's to say last time it was this level was just before the global financial crisis hit.
Oh, what exactly are you saying, Mr. Rhodes?
Be careful out there.
All right then. So you're happy with your gold prediction ahead of 2026? Because we might not talk to you
Yeah.
before the new year. Let's hope we do, but we may not.
Yeah.
So $6,500. Can I discuss silver? So record levels.
Yes.
Still happy with your prediction of 125 next year?
Yes, I am. I think when you look at silver for at least 10 years, more silver has been consumed than produced.
Yep.
And so, just a minute, Tim. Yeah, my wife's just turning on the TV. I thought it might affect the quality. Yeah. So anyway, what we're seeing over the last 10 years is more buying and selling. Where has that buying been fed from? Above ground stocks held in vaults in London, and that's always been the case for many years. And suddenly, some bright spark kind of come along and said, all that silver in London, is it possible that it's already been pledged? And the answer was yes. In fact, a lot of silver that's sitting in vaults is pledged against ETFs. And so where everyone has been working on the basis that you're always going to have a plentiful supply of silver, and therefore it's okay to be short. Well, it's not anymore. Just to remind everyone, about a month or so ago, maybe a bit longer, we had a silver lease rate of 30% per annum. It's unheard of. And so I don't think that the shortage of silver is going away anytime soon. You can't just suddenly find more silver. And of course, silver is a problem because its byproduct is only 1/3 of total silver production each year is from silver. There's a lot of byproduct from gold, from copper, from lead, and so on. So I think the picture technically, fundamentally, is bullish for silver. And I think that we'll get up through 75. And in I think you could see it even in Q1. I just see silver could really be doing on the verge of something completely different. And then, it changes the way people look at silver. We're seeing lots of demand from AI for silver. We're seeing lots of demand for solar panels from silver. And also there's medical. And more it's being viewed as a key asset. We've got China and America are both designated silver as a strategic metal. So, so it can only go one way. You might get a dip back towards 50, 55, but for me, as I say, one way for silver. I think the only question is, am I being too extreme? Well, I am a bit, but it does get you noticed.
It certainly does that. So lots of demand from AI for silver. So I AI'd an analysis of silver just before the weekend, and it came back with this, Jeff. The current analysis of silver prices indicates a strong upward trend driven by a combination of macroeconomic and industrial factors. Driven by a supply squeeze and rebounding industrial demand, silver is expected to continue to rise in 2026. The price is expected to remain a valuable asset for investors looking for diversification and inflation protection. So, my synopsis is the AI, the artificial intelligence, agrees with the Jeff Rhodes intelligence.
Thank you. Yes, I like AI. Yes, I do. I didn't before, but now I'm a convert.
Your attitude's completely changed.
Yes, it is.
Oh man,
Go for AI. But honestly, I think all of that is just a bit of common sense.
Yeah,
You
no,
know, you
absolutely.
look at you see the numbers, and the numbers that point to a much higher silver price.
Okay, so the other metal in demand, making waves, making headlines, is platinum. You've referred to it a couple of times,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
where are we?
Yeah, platinum just around 2,100. As I say, the last time we were there was in the summer of 2008, before the GFC. But it is again a question of supply and demand.
Yep.
So platinum has an inherent lease rate of 10% per annum.
Okay.
So when we've got dollar interest rates heading lower, that is expensive. So if you wanted to sell platinum, it would cost you a lot of money every day. So I don't see where the selling's coming from, and demand is there. More and more, people are realizing that platinum is used very much in electronics. And so where we all thought we're having electric cars, don't need petrol cars anymore, therefore we don't need catalytic converters, therefore a lot of demand for platinum will go away. That's being replaced by demand from the electronic sector. So electric cars use a lot of platinum in their batteries and their connectivity. So, and it's all about, I think when you look at silver and platinum and the big rallies, it's all about growing industrial demand in a market where you don't have plentiful supply. Both of them have the same attributes.
I mean, you had platinum as high as $3,500, $2,100 now, $3,500 next year. Still standing by that?
Yes, of course. I don't see why not. I mean, I think I might be a bit low actually.
Really?
If anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. You're bullish, Mr. Rhodes. What about palladium? Just to finish off, palladium. Your prediction for next year, $2,500.
Yeah, we're kind of not. We're not that far away at the moment. I'm not so confident in palladium. It's just that the supply comes from two countries really, South Africa and Russia, and the attributes in terms of electronics are not as good. So yeah, I think with the other four going north, palladium does go up.
Right.
But at the moment we're looking at 1,850. So 2,500 is not really particularly bold, is it? It kind of illustrates the fact that I just don't trust palladium. Never have. It just is such a thin market that you could have one sneeze from Russia, and then suddenly it could be up at 3,000, 4,000, or then you can have a lot of palladium, being released onto the market. When you look at the way to look at these, Tim, is the lease rates. The lease rates tells you the demand supply situation at any one time. And the palladium, you've got platinum around 9, 10, maybe 11%, but palladium is no more than 2 or 3% lease rate.
Right.
So therefore, we don't have the same sort of demand supply situation as you do with silver and platinum.
Okay, Jeff Rhodes, just remains for me to wish you a very happy Christmas and all the
And
best
you,
for the
Tim,
new
you and your
year.
family.
And to
Yeah,
you.
great. Thank you.
And we appreciate all your contributions. Hopefully, maybe speak to you before the year end. But if not, Jeff Rhodes is the CEO
Yeah.
of Goldstrom Advisory. It's always a pleasure. Thanks.
Thanks, Tim. Take care.
Good to talk to you. It's the Morning Drive. This is Mira Business FM. A like and or a subscribe is appreciated. Wherever you join us from, get in touch. Tell us what you think. Everything we do is a podcast as well. You can listen or watch again. Just search Mira Business FM.